it's Erin, and yes, I have you in my kitchen again to give you a weekly pregnancy update. I'm actually making like a lunch kind of thing because we've got open house for the boys tonight, and it has been a crazy week. I have a lot to update you on. I am 35 weeks. It is Thursday night right now. Tomorrow is Friday. I will be 35 weeks. So much has happened this past week. I have recorded a lot of videos, and I don't think I mentioned it in any of the ones that have come out to this point. But on Friday, I actually ended up in labor and delivery. About 2 in the afternoon, I started having contractions that were about every 3 to 4 minutes, which isn't horrible for me, but they were actually kind of painful. Normally, like, I'm having one right now. It's like, it's uncomfortable, but clearly I'm acting fine. That's normally how my contractions are. Every now and then I get one that I'm like, ooh, that's a little painful, and I may have to stop what I'm doing, but I usually can talk through it and deal with it. These ones, not so much. They started getting more painful as like the hour went on. When I got to the hour mark, they actually were pushing every like 2 to 3 minutes, which was a little concerning. And like I said, they started to get painful. I actually had tears in my eyes that were getting so bad. I couldn't do anything during the contraction, and they were lasting about 45 seconds to a minute. So Ed and I started talking, and I said, look, it's only been an hour. I obviously, when it started, I laid down, you know, like they tell you to. I drank a big thing. I filled my big cup of water. This actually is 30 ounces. I downed it in like the first 20 minutes, because usually that's my problem, is I'm a little dehydrated. That did nothing. So then the second hour started. I did call I texted my mom because she was working, and I said, hey, here's what's going on. I'm gonna give it another hour. If it's still going on, I think I might need to go to the hospital. And she was like, okay, that's fine. She's like, I'll let my boss know in case, you know, we need to leave. So that next hour, I would say the first like 15, 20 minutes, they were every 2 to 3 minutes, and they were bad. So Ed actually decided he was going to give the boys a bath because it was bath night. Gave the boys a bath and started dinner. We were gonna make pizzas. So he made pizza, he gave them a bath. My contractions were getting much, much worse. Then they started going to every 1 to 2 minutes. And that was really concerning us. Ed's like, you know what? Let's text your mom now. Let's tell her what's going on. Tell her she should probably come home. And let's call the doctor. So we texted my mom. She got everything ready and came home. But of course, then it was rush hour, so it took her a while to get home, unfortunately. Or just a little bit. I mean, she got home by 4:30, and like I said, everything started at 2. I tried calling my doctor's office. It was Friday. They close early on Fridays, so I had to call the like the after hours number, and it was busy. Like, I couldn't get through for like 15 to 20 minutes. Then I finally got through. I left a message. The nurse calls me back. As I knew my mom was on her way home, she had already texted me. And the nurse was really concerned on the phone. She could hear it in my voice. You know, she's like, have you had preterm? You know, have you had a preterm baby before? I'm like, yes, I have. She was really concerned that I was going to have the baby at the house. So was Ed. Ed was concerned I was going to have the baby in the kitchen because I was like holding onto the counter, trying to get comfortable. So as we were waiting for my mom, Ed finished up getting the boys all settled. I actually went down and sat in the car because I figured it would take me a while to get down the stairs. If you don't know, we're on the third floor, so we don't have an elevator. So I did go downstairs. My mom came home. Ed literally was waiting on our, like, outside. So, like, as soon as he saw her coming up the stairs, he came down. And we left. We got to the hospital. It was just about 5 because, like I said, it was rush hour. Even though we are like 12 minutes, if we hit every light from our house to the hospital, it took us a half hour because of traffic. So we get to the hospital. They take me to triage, you know, the labor and delivery triage. Yeah, the nurse comes in, she puts the monitors on. She's really concerned. Well, honey, you're all done? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You can be all done with your pop.
This?
Okay, that's fine. Yep, wipe your face. Having popsicles. Okay, you're good. Thank you for wiping your face. So yeah, the nurse has hooked me up to the monitor. She's watching it for a few minutes, and she goes, all right, I'm gonna check you. And she's like, I think we're gonna have a baby tonight. And then she goes to check me and goes, oh my God, you're only 1 centimeter and 40% of face. And I'm like, really? And she goes, damn, I really thought you were gonna have a baby. And I'm like, I don't wanna have a baby right now. I'm only 30, I was exactly 34 weeks. And I'm like, I don't want to have a baby today. Like, it's too soon. Like, I know she's decent size because we had just been measured that week, but I'm like, I still don't want her to come right now. Now is not a good time. So I was monitored for a couple more hours, and then I saw the doctor because she was busy with other people. And she was like, well, why don't we do, like, maybe we should do some IVs. Maybe we should, you know, get you some pain meds. And I was like, I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, right. And then I was like, why do this? Like, the contractions had gone down. They were like every 15 minutes, and they weren't painful anymore, so they were better. And I'm like, I really don't need pain meds. I kind of needed them when I when I got in here. So I said to the nurse when she came in with the IV and the meds, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, could I just go home? I said, because this is silly. I'm like, they hadn't checked me since I got in there. I said, I'm sure you want to check me to make sure I haven't had any change. I said, if I have not had a change in my cervix, why don't I just go home? Like, this is silly. They've calmed down. You know, if we're not progressing, then let me go. So she talked to the doctor, and the doctor was like, you know what? That's fine. If you have not had a cervix change, then let's send you home. So they checked me again. There was zero change. I was still 1 centimeter, 40% of face, and it had been like 3 hours. So they let me come home, which was great. So I came home, I hydrated some more, I ate because I had not eaten. And yeah, then I went through the night. I did have them pretty consistently for another couple of hours, but they weren't painful. And so yeah, so I came home. I had my appointment during the week, and everything was fine. I did have a non-stress test. Baby girl almost didn't pass. She was being a little stubborn. It was also, I was having a lot of contractions, of course, during this time. So she's not very active while I'm having contractions, which I don't blame her because she's getting squished. But she did pass, which was great. My doctor wants me to have another stress test, actually. I'm having it tomorrow, late morning. So that's why I didn't want to wait, because I'm like, why wait for another stress test to give you guys an update? I doubt anything will change. If it does, I'll just do another video if it's something really important. But my doctor was, you know, just concerned that I am having a lot of contractions. Also with baby's movement, she's not moving as much as she used to, though it could just be that she's running out of room. I have not gained anything, so I do have a small belly, so it pretty much is all baby. Okay, yes. It's all baby, so it could just be she's getting squished. We are getting down there in, you know, she is a good size, but I do have to be careful with movement, so I've been tracking that. But she's been fine since I've been to the doctors. Contractions are still pretty consistent. Some are painful, most are not. I pretty much am having them consistently now, like all day long. It doesn't matter if I rest all day, if I do stuff, I have them regardless. I actually had them in the middle of the night last night, which I usually don't. Usually I can, if I sleep, I don't have any contractions. If I'm up for a few hours, then yes, I will have, you know, some contractions. But we're not going to your school till later, okay? In a few hours. Okay. Someone's very excited for school. So last night though, I did have them when I would wake up to go to the bathroom, or if I moved, like if I went to roll over, I would get contractions, which was kind of, that's new for me. But they weren't horrible. It was just irritating because I'm like, I just want to go back to sleep. So hopefully everything will go well. I did talk to the doctor yesterday, or the other day when I went. I don't remember what day I went now. We talked about my induction, and she does want to induce me at 37 weeks. Hopefully, when I go next week, give me a minute. Hopefully when I go next week, they will let me schedule the induction, which would be great. So yeah, it's just been a crazy week, a lot of contractions. I'm very, very uncomfortable. I'm sore all over, but I am definitely very happy every day. I am still pregnant because I know every day that I stay pregnant, it's better for her. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm hoping we have nothing eventful. Yes, the baby girl, he's rubbing my belly. We are ready for her, but we don't want her to come yet. So hopefully she will stay in until 37 weeks, which is in 2 weeks, which would be great. It just honestly perfect. It would just be perfect timing wise, just for everything, with the boys starting school on Monday, and just so much. I just really want her to just stay cooking. But as of right now, she is fine. She's doing fine. Like I said, she's not moving like she wasn't that day, but like I said, I had a lot of contractions, and like today she's been moving like crazy. So hopefully I can just power through. And I'm kind of thinking that once the boys start school on Monday, because I won't be having to get up as much with them because it'll be a full day, maybe I'll be able to rest more, and maybe my, you know, contractions will calm down a little bit, at least during the day, but we shall see. But that is all for this week. Oh, one kind of other change that I had that started like yesterday, I think it was. My boobs are so sore. Like, I don't know where the light blue is. That's the one that's missing. We have a car missing. Like, I feel like I'm engorged, but I like know I can't pump because actually pumping can actually cause labor. So they like really, like they hurt so bad as if I like am engorged, which I'm hoping is a good sign. I am leaking a little bit, but not like I don't need to wear a breast pad. I've just noticed it's like when I change, there's a little, okay. But that's like one big change in the past week. And I actually have the, if you've been pregnant before, you may have had this. I did not have this with my first, but I did have it with Robert. I feel like I have a bowling ball in between my legs, so I kind of waddle a lot more. It just feels like a lot of pressure, which I think is because she is so low. I remembered with Robert, I had it like the last week I was pregnant with him though. So this is starting a little earlier because I had him 37 weeks and 2 days. So starting a little earlier with this one, but she is lower. She always has been, so I'm kind of thinking that's where it's at. But yeah, physically it's the contractions, the bowling ball, and my boobs, which I'm hoping that means maybe I'll have a good supply this time because I really didn't with the boys. But yeah, that's all the changes for this week. And like I said, if something happens at the end stress test tomorrow, I'll let you guys know, but I'm hoping, it's fingers crossed, we have a good day.